Next, we're going to start to remove our lower shaft gear. So in preparation, we first need to remove the foot. Next, we're going to remove the needle. This way we don't bend it, hit it, or even stab ourselves with it. Then we'll continue with removing the needle plate. The needle plate has two screws that hold it down, and they both need to be removed. We'll lift up on the needle plate, and we'll get rid of it. Next, we're going to take out the hook race ring and the shuttle hook. We'll close the door, and we're going to lay the machine down. And now we're going to remove the bed cover. The bed cover has two screws in it. Now that we removed the bed cover, we can see underneath the shuttle hook area, we can see that there is a black plate, which is hiding our lower shaft gear. We're going to remove the two screws that hold the black plate in. The black plate is also held in by a spring that comes down from our feed dog area. The spring is very important, so we're going to very gently just disconnect it from the black plate and leave it hang in the machine. The spring is very important for feeding. Now we can see our lower shaft gear and the gear which is attached to our hook race unit. We can see that we have to move the shuttle hook out in order to change the lower shaft gear. First we need to move the lower shaft gear and the whole lower shaft to the right. So what we're going to do is we'll loosen the screw, which is a 2.5, that holds the pin, part of our feed fork area. Lower it, and we're going to remove the pin. And we can slide it right out. Sometimes it's a little tight. If need be, you can very gently tap it out from the left-hand side to the right. Now we have our feed fork, which is coming down, and it's in the way. So either you can take a rubber band or a white zip tie like we're doing here, and we're just going to tie it up and just gently keep it up out of the way. This way when we hit the lower shaft to the right, it does not interfere or break it. Now, we're going to loosen the bushing, which is held by a 2.5 hex screw. This will allow us to move the shaft to the right. We're going to loosen the 2.5 hex screw on the left side of the hook race, and right below the hook race there is another 2.5 hex screw that needs to be loosened. Now we're going to pull back on the lower shaft slightly and just move it to the right slightly. We have taken the lower shaft gear away from the hook race gear, and now we can start to pull up and remove the hook race. Sometimes the hook race does not come out that easily, so there was a white cap in the back that you can remove, and if need be, you will take a hex driver, line it up against the shaft of the hook race unit, and tap it out gently. Now, we still need to remove the lower shaft gear, so we can move the lower shaft to the right. We have to be careful that on the very right hand side, where we have our timing adjustment, that when we hit it to the right, we don't take it and hit it into the casting and smash it. So now if we look towards the top of where the lower shaft gear is, we can see that it has two 2.5 hex screws that need to be loosened. Once you have loosened these, double check on the bottom to make sure that the timing block does not get smashed against the casting when we go to tap it out. Starting from the top, you have a little hole area that you can line a punch or a driver through, and you're going to line it up right on the lower shaft itself. Line it up nice, and we're going to take a hammer from the top of the driver and we're going to give it a tap downward. Now we're going to go nice and gentle here and not start whacking the machine really hard. We have to be careful that we don't hurt anything. You can see that it's almost out, and we need just another little tap. And we can remove the lower shaft gear. And we still have the timing block safe.